Good afternoon, Sunset Daughters of Africa. I hope you are fine wherever you are, celebrating the Africa Day. I have a few questions. I would want some of you to answer me, if possible, about this particular day. The 25th of May, that's when I understand the Organization of African Unity, now called the AU, the African Union, was formed 57 years ago in 1963 in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, by the likes of the late Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Kambarage Nyerere of Tanzania, and many other leaders. When this organization was formed, it really had values and principles. And their motto was, "We want to liberate Africa." And they did that perfectly well. The last country to come out of the colonial yoke was South Africa 26 years ago in 1994. I would say hands up to them. They did a good job. Those former leaders who are late, most of them, today, at the present day. Some of them are still alive, maybe one or two are still alive, but quite a chunk of them have passed on. Right. They achieved their goal. They wanted to liberate Africa, break the colonial yoke, and set us free. Right. Now Africa is free. No doubt the richest continent on the planet, with any resource you can dream of, and with the resources many continents are envying. That's why we see countries like China, they are trying to have influence in Africa and tap the African resources. But my question is, we have achieved independence. Have our lives improved for the better? Or it has gone worse? That is question number one. And if it's worse, as it appears to be, what is the problem? Right. We have seen so many challenges like never before. A very good example is the Rwanda genocide, 1994. The Gukurahundi genocide in our own country of Zimbabwe, where around 30,000 people lost their lives. Other problems or challenges have come on. We have got Boko Haram in Nigeria, Al-Shabaab. Somalia has never enjoyed peace for quite some time. We have seen African citizens getting drowned in the Mediterranean, trying to cross over to Europe. And we have seen an accumulation of wealth by our leaders, and sending money or whatever they loot to countries abroad, former colonial masters included, offshore accounts all over the world. what is the problem? Why have our leaders shunned Africa to that extent that they would prefer to buy mansions outside Africa and make Africa a burial ground? This is the questions I'm challenging our leaders or those in power to answer me, and maybe a number of citizens. Right. My question is, another question is, AU, former Organization of African Unity, did have principles and values when it was initially formed in Ethiopia in 1963 in Addis Ababa? Are they still having those same values and principles, or is now a club of ruthless dictators who meet every year in Addis Ababa? Maybe this year they are not meeting because of the corona, and have this jamboree of eating pancakes and spending money. This is a question I need answers, and I challenge you who are celebrating the Africa Day today. My question is, if we haven't achieved all this, then what are we celebrating? I might be wrong. I need you to correct me. What are we celebrating today? Or is just a holiday like any other day? Because don't get me wrong, for those people who initially formed the OAU, now called the African Union, their motto was, we want to liberate Africa. And they did achieve that, as I've said before. But the question today to you and anybody else celebrating this day, what are we really celebrating? We are scattered everywhere as Africans, looking for greener pastures, and yet we are the richest continent on the planet, but with the poorest inhabitants on the planet. Why is it that so? This is a question to you, and I would really want you to come and challenge me and say, oh, you are wrong on this, you are wrong on that. But I still have that question. What are we celebrating today? Thank you.